Hello everybody, I hope you're all well and have been enjoying all the dance videos and the online classes with Miss Emily. So today we're going to be looking at gestures in classical ballet. So if you watch a classical ballet, something like Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, The Nutcracker, you will notice that there are lots of gestures or mime that the dancers use to help tell the story so the audience can understand what is going on. So today we're going to look at some of these gestures. It's almost like a language used in ballet, and we're going to learn some of them ourselves so that you can then tell your own story with these gestures. But first we're going to do our warm-up. And then we're going to do some of our arm exercises, so we're really getting those arms nice and ready for our gestures and practicing being expressive in our arms and in our face. Standing ready for our warm-up with sticky toes, making sure that tummy is pulled up nice and tall and making sure that our shoulders are down and that we've got a lovely long neck. Hands on your hips. And off we go for our bounces. Making sure that we've got nice smiley faces in our bounces and we're keeping those feet sticky all the way throughout. Going into our shoulders and into our claps. And then we're into our jumps, keeping those toes nice and sticky and that stomach pulled up the whole time. And finally our twists. Twisting down and up and down and up and finish. Getting ready for our arm swings. We've got our feet sticky again, that tall tummy pulling up, shoulders down, long necks, and we're wearing our crown to stand as tall as possible. And bringing our arms up for our swings. We're swinging down and up and down and up, making sure those feet are still as sticky as they can be, and reaching all the way up the top, ready into our pirate faces. Now I want to see the best facial expressions possible here. Really make me believe you're a pirate. Back to our swings. So making sure at the bottom, those knees straighten back up and they're straight at the top as we reach up as well. Having a nice smile in the swings and then into our greatest pirate faces we can do. Lovely. And finish there. We're going to do a quick test of whether we can remember the name to our arm positions for our port de bras. And you can just guess each one and maybe try and write them down. And then at the end, we'll go through the answers and you can see how well you've remembered the names of all of the positions. Time to see if you got those arm positions right. So we start in fifth en bas, and then we're in fifth en avant, fifth en haut, and then into second position, and finally demi-second position. And we finish by bringing our arms back into fifth en bas. We're next going to practice our naughty pixie arms. So we're kneeling down for this one, and I want to see your best cheeky pixie expressions, starting with 3 wags of our fingers on each hand. We then shake our fists and our head. After that, we're pushing our arms out. You can see when I push those arms out, they're nice and straight and really strong. You can also see that I'm keeping my back lovely and pulled up the whole way through. We're still practicing our ballet posture throughout. So, sitting lovely and tall and ready with our best cheeky pixie faces. We go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, shake. Hands out and down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, shake, stop and down. Keep going with those facial expressions, really telling the story with your face. And And make sure that all of those movements with your arms are nice and strong. Preparing for our arm weights, standing in first position, making sure that tummy's still nice and pulled up and strong. And it's really important for this one that we keep our shoulders down, so that we're using those muscles in our back and our shoulders to support our arms. So we're pushing those fingers out as if we're pushing a cloud away, making sure you're really using those muscles in your back that Miss Emily spoke about a few weeks ago. And that those arms are in line with your shoulders. Ready for our arm waves with the music. We are pulling that tummy up nice and tall in our first position. And we're pushing our arms out to the side, pushing those clouds away. Up and push and down. Want to make sure those hands aren't too sharp or jaggedy because they might break the clouds, but you also want to be making sure you're reaching right to the ends of those fingertips, so you're really pushing that cloud away to make sure the sun can shine. We're now going to look at some of the gestures most commonly used in classical ballet. So the first gesture we're going to learn is that for marriage or proposal. So we're using 2 fingers and we're touching our ring finger on our left hand. The next gesture is for promise, and again it's 2 fingers up. For love, there are 2 different gestures. We can have 2 hands over the heart or the arms crossed over the body. For death, we have 2 fists low down crossed over. The next one is for anger, and this one is really shown through the facial expression, but also the fist shaking towards the sky. And then similarly, we have begging, which again is a lot about the facial expression, but it's 2 hands clasped up to the sky. For dance, we roll both our hands over our head in fifth on O and then open them out through second position. The gesture for I or myself is a hand towards the body, and then we can point for over there or point down for here. The next gesture is tapping our head to show an idea or thinking, and then we can cup our ear or send our hand away from our ear for hearing or listening. We tap under the eyes to show we've seen something or we're looking, and then we can use both hands out and low to ask why or what. A hand pointing or out can be but, and then sleeping, we bring both hands under the head. The final one is 2 taps to the forehead or 3 to show king, queen, princess or prince. When telling a story in a ballet, we need to use more than just our arms and our gestures though. We need to use our face as well. If you watch me do these 3 gestures, the first time I'm not using my face at all. The second time through, I'm using my face, and you can see much more clearly what I'm meaning when I'm using my gestures. And you can begin to see the story that I am telling. Now I'm going to test your memory of the gestures that we have just learned. So I'm going to dance a series of the different gestures, and I want you to try and write down how many of the gestures you recognise. You'll notice that I'm doing the gestures along with other ballet moves and sometimes putting ballet moves in between. So I'm telling a story like you would see in a ballet. And then once you've finished writing down the gestures, I'll give you the answers. Now it's time to go through all of the answers and see how many of the gestures you got correct. I start by saying, what can I hear over there? Then I do a turn. And then I say, I see you all dancing. But I am queen of dance. I, promise to sleep. So now that we've learnt all of our gestures, it's time for us to use that knowledge that we now have to tell our own stories. So I would like all of you to pick your favourite story that you would like to tell. And you're going to use any of the gestures that we've learned, or you can try making up your own gestures, especially if there's something that you want to say that we don't have a gesture for. And then the last thing you need to do is remember to really use your facial expressions when you're telling your story as well with your gestures. And within your story and your gestures, you can add in any of your favourite ballet moves to help you tell the story. Enjoy and thank you. Bye.